large tornado right now. Large tornado. This is a tornado, debris ball heading right into Seminole right now. This is a large destructive tornado heading right into Seminole right now. If you are in Seminole, seek shelter immediately. This is a large and extremely dangerous tornado. I think the National Weather Service needs to issue a tornado emergency right now. We have a large and destructive tornado heading right into Seminole right now. We have a very large and destructive tornado heading right into Seminole right now. This is a very, very dangerous and life-threatening situation. Very violent tornado heading right into Seminole right now. I mean, it is entering the south side of... Oh, my God, it's passed through Seminole already. Tornadoes already came through Seminole. That's a very quick motion tornado. Oh, my God. I mean... All right, I'm going on KFOR right now. KFOR right now. I'm going to check KFOR right now. Oh my God. Come on. No, it's not. I need something live right now. KFOR. Okay. Nothing live right now. Okay, we got a large tornado right now. Twitter. I'm going to go to Twitter right now. We got a large tornado. We actually got 2 potential tornadoes in the ground. Okay, South Oklahoma's fine. Ada's fine. Okay, that's good. KFOR. No. Okay, we got a very dangerous situation right now. Yep. Power flashes reported on KFOR. If you live northeast of Seminole, seek shelter immediately. Yeah, we got power flashes on the northeast side of Seminole right now. Oh my God. This was a 3 miles southeast of Seminole. This tornado was huge. Oh my God. Yeah, it hit Seminole head on. Jesus Christ. Seminole just got hit. Yeah, that was actually the debris. That was actually the radar signature. It was combined radar and debris. The thing is, 2,000 feet. What you're looking at right now, that's a combination of hail and debris. Hail and debris. So that's your hail right here. What you're looking at right now in Seminole, that is debris. 100% that's debris. Combination of hail and debris. Seminole just took a direct hit. Boom. Yeah, Seminole just took a direct hit. If you want to see what it looks like, right now, latest. If you want to see what it looks like, right now, I'm going to show you right now. If you want to see what it looks like, here's what it looks like right now. 9 seconds. Yep. Oh, yeah, I know. Hey, Johnny, I don't know if you're joining me. Yeah, we got a tornado on the ground right now. Northeast Seminole right now. If you are in Northeast Seminole, seek shelter right now. Yeah. This is getting big.
Stronger and stronger. And Seminole, it is so close to town. Once again, Seminole, I cannot hit the message hard enough. You have to be in your tornado shelter right now with this storm as it continues to move to the east. Let's go back out to Chase Rutledge up in the air. Chase, we're seeing power flashes and a textbook hook echo with this storm. Chase, give us an update what you see up in the air.
To take your tornado
David's
precautions.
I'm trying to go to KOCO right now.
Chase,
Damon,
KOCO.
Yeah, Chase, go ahead, Ghost. My apologies there. So, Chase, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Yeah, that's right. And so I'm also on Facebook Live, so you can go there if you're not able to watch us on TV. But right now, like you.
Have you reached a verdict? We have, Your Honor. We find the defendant guilty as charged.
What is our fascination with these historic heists? Why, after all these years, do they still capture our imagination?
Now, I'm talking about the tornado right now. KOC.
The west, we're seeing those too right on the backside of this rain. But this rain, look how quickly that rain's moving through this area. It almost looks like there's a lowering there. More power flashes as this continues to develop. And I don't know how fast this is moving across the ground, but it's headed quickly towards Seminole. So those of you in Seminole, you've got to take your tornado precautions. If you have a shelter, get in it. If not, find the center part of your house and get there, because this is headed for you for a second time this week. And this is a big, massive storm, Damon.
It absolutely is. And so your pictures are providing those that live in Seminole with all the information that they need. But this is certainly a very large tornado. Really, this whole thing, I mean, you can see the rain curtains here just wrapping around. That is the tornado.
Jesus Christ, this is a big tornado. That is a large tornado. It's rain wrapped too. It's a large rain wrapped tornado. Jesus Christ, this is a large tornado. Jesus Christ.
So, Danny, you had brought this up earlier. A little concerned about the town of Seminole. Like those probably had another, the tornado warning down near Purcell, Payne, Lane. That tornado warning expired. That is great. That storm has a weekend. It's all about this storm.
Okay, it's a TORR. It's not a tornado emergency. That is a large tornado. I'm seeing it right now. It's on the ground. It's basically one large tornado. I don't know how strong the winds are in that, but it could be like Nashville in 1998. But yeah, in Seminole, there's a lot of damage. There's a lot of debris, like not significant damage, but there's a lot of EF1 damage. A lot of roofs ripped off, windows blown out. I mean, maybe that's the edge of the tornado damage, but yeah, there's sheet metal wrapped around traffic poles. Yeah. It's on the ground. Oh my God! Holy! Whoa, 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 whoa! That looks like EF3 damage. I'm checking right now. That looks like EF3 damage, or EF2 at least. Oh my God. Oh my God. Holy crap. Jesus Christ. Okay, it's definitely not EF5 damage, thank God. But yeah, there's a lot of moderate to significant damage in Seminole. Yeah, there's EF3 damage. EF2 to EF3 damage in Seminole. Yeah. I'm going to message a friend of mine right now. Yeah. Yeah, it took a hit. Debris.
And that's, I mean, that just shows you how far the debris is getting kicked up into the air, because it fell right underneath the helicopter. It came right off the nose, and we're a good 3 or 4 miles, maybe 5 miles from the storm. So it kicked it up that far out into the atmosphere and out towards us. So this is still a very strong storm. I mean, it's rain wrapped now, just like you can see in our shot. But if we come to the left, keep coming to the left, Francisco, that is the farthest to the east of this storm. But look at that cell right in the center. That is a massive amount of rain that's being dropped onto Seminole and to the northeast of Seminole. I can tell you right now, there are no lights in Seminole. It definitely lost power, and I saw that we were starting to get some damage shots from what I'm seeing more debris out here as it's falling in front of us. But to the right, we're seeing a little bit of a lowering right down now. I don't know if that's going to make it to the ground, but we're still seeing power flashes in the storm, indicating still doing some damage as it moves across ground. Damon.
Yeah, this storm is still cycling right now, so this is the new part of at least the area of circulation that's now beginning to develop. So, yeah, Seminole, this has been a worst case scenario. Look, I feel for you, Seminole, but here's your new area of circulation. We're now just east of Seminole State College, and then here's another area that Jonathan is highlighting, about about 3.5 miles east of Seminole, but from Butner to Cromwell, both of these communities right here, you have to be in your tornado shelter. This storm has done a considerable amount of damage already in the town of Seminole, and so here we are now. This storm continues to move to the east. Jonathan, kind of going back through and looking at the overall track, it looks like it's beginning to pull a bit more up to the northeast, and that would bring it very close to the community of Cromwell. And then eventually, as you go towards Schoolton there, that's pulling it up to I-40, by the way.
It's going northeast of Cromwell.
Updated storm track here, Cromwell at 7:20.
Castle. It's going to head towards Castle.
7:23 with this. So we continue once again. This is the only tornado warning, by the way, that is currently out there in Oklahoma. The tornado warning cell that we had earlier down by Lindsay, that is no more. So, and we have all eyes on it. Shane and Charlie watching that one as well. We have all eyes on this too. And also watching our next round of supercells that are coming into western Oklahoma. We have Derek and and Nick on that, and then Buck right now still watching the storm down in Lindsay. So our team is out, but this storm is still spinning up towards I-40, and so now moving into eastern and northeastern parts of the town of Seminole. So Cromwell at 7:23, Okemah about 7:44, and then town of Haydenville at 8:02. All of these communities right here, we already know what this storm has done. You saw it live here in KOCO, up in the air, and then when Chris Lee went right through Seminole, and that was a considerable amount of damage that went right through there. In the storm, the tornado threat still continues with this. Let's go out to Michael. Let's go out to field meteorologist Michael Armstrong in Storm Command. Michael, different perspective. You're on the ground. What do you see?
Damon, I'll tell you what, this thing has done considerable damage well throughout the bill. I'm very concerned that it's going to continue really close. We're right on the south end of it. Unfortunately, Damon, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I know cell coverage.
Close.
And certainly it's going to be even worse now with the tornado there. But Michael, go ahead.
Yeah, unfortunately, we had a storm chaser hit us from behind, and we're doing fine. We're okay. Exchange the information, but it just goes to show how dangerous it is out here. Man, I don't know what to tell people. We're out here trying to save people's lives, and we have the other storm chasers out here hitting us. It's crazy out here on the roads. Please, people, just go ahead and take your tornado precautions.
Michael, and Michael, certainly be safe. Look, I understand the just how many hazards that you all have to deal with, both you and Kyle in Storm Command. And so, and again, Michael, we're glad that you are okay.
We got 2 tornadoes in the ground. Look at that.
Northeast, still spinning northeast of Seminole. So Seminole, the threat still continues, although the storm is now lifting up to the northeast. So Cromwell, here you are right now with this storm. As a matter of fact, Sky 5, but we can go back. Let me go back to Sky 5 here because I want to see what we're looking at here. 2 areas of circulation now on the northeast side. Jonathan, what do you see?
mesocyclone's forming. It's cycling, and that's, I told Chase, look to the right, new meso's forming. So the old meso got pulled back into the storm. The new one is forming, so the storm's going to go through a cycle. Again, what I'm looking at, the velocity couplet, still very strong, but I think a new one will overtake the old one, and we'll see tornado genesis again. Just got to watch it from Chase is looking in the exact right spot that he needs to look at, Damon.
He really is. He really is. And we can see what this storm is doing up in the air right now with these areas of circulation as you make your way southwest of Cromwell, north of Seminole. 2 areas of rotation. Let's go out to Chase Rutledge. Chase, what we're seeing right now up in the air or on the radar shows the storm is not done. What do you see up in the air?
Yeah, Damon, signal's cutting out a little bit, but I can tell you exactly what we're seeing here, exactly what Jonathan was talking about, how this thing is recycling. Now, there's a lot of rain right there. Haven't seen any power flashes in the past few minutes. That doesn't mean that there's not any in that thick rain that we're seeing. But like Jonathan was saying, it is recycling. We're starting to see some more lowerings and some of those stinger clouds that are sticking out to again, this is to the east side of the storm. And this is exactly where Jonathan told us to look, and this is where we're going to keep a close eye on here. Still seeing a lot of lightning out ahead of this thing, out to the northeast. So this track is headed that way. It is not showing any signs of slowing up. So if you are in the path of this thing, and Damon's telling you exactly where this thing is going, make sure that you have your severe weather plan ready so that you can initiate that when the time comes. Damon?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. And we can see this new wall cloud that's developing, and so this storm continues to move up to the northeast here. So Seminole, again, the threat still continues to your east. Moving up to the northeast, Cromwell, you're in the path of this storm now, so Cromwell, once again, keeping a real close eye on this as the tornado threat is not over. A tornado warning still remains in effect. Oh, wow. You can see a couple areas. There's an area, and then there's areas.
That could be a glitch.
This storm still absolutely warrants
No, that's a glitch.
Warning, as it continues to move up to the northeast. Let me go out to Chris Lee, if Chris Lee is available, because I want to give a different perspective. Chris, out to you we go. Chris, give us okay, we'll get Chris back on here in just a second. So what happens, and the reason why we're dealing with this right now, is that there's a lot of communication towers that have been hit because of the storm. So you start bringing in fewer, let's go to Sky 5. Let's go to Sky 5. You start bringing in fewer communication towers, and so signals are hit and miss. Sky 5, let's go out to Sky 5 right now. There's the tornado. It's back there. I can see it from time to time. Certainly not what we had earlier, but certainly could build its way back up to that. Obviously, a lot of power has been cut in the county of Seminole, and so this storm continues, and there it is getting a little bit darker, but you can certainly see the lowering out of this, and I think this thing is still probably back on the ground, moving still to the east northeast away from Seminole, but still Seminole, I think we're with this storm. So let's see here. Chris Lee is back available. Let's go back out to Chris. Chris, still watching this storm rotating now, going into eastern and northeastern Seminole County. Give us an update with what you're seeing, Chris.
Yeah, we are following this storm off to the east as it keeps tracking east from Seminole. We can see it off to our north. It does occasionally wrap up into rain. It really gets tightened up and tornado gets planted. It kind of wraps up the rain, which makes it difficult to see. And then it apparently explodes and then reforms again. So we don't have a damage path continuous the whole time. Just you have multiple touchdowns. The problem is one of those touchdowns right down in the town of Seminole. Going through Seminole, we're basically looking at from end to end in town, the damage, and a lot of damage to roofs and walls in downtown Seminole. I do see a funnel coming down towards the ground again as we go down in this valley. I hope I can get it back for you pretty quickly, but I can see it off to my north and back west. we're trying to get over to 56 and head up towards Cromwell.
Radar indicator rotation. Are you kidding me?
Towards the ground again, Damon.
Yeah, and from a radar perspective, what we can see right now is a very well
That's on the ground
inflow notch. So Cromwell to Sylvia, and this is going to make its way up towards Schoolton and eventually up to I-40 here. So for anyone that is listening to us right now on the radar, on the radio, if you are on I-40 going into northeastern Seminole County, just know that this current warning does now cross over I-40. So what you see right here is that on the left-hand side of your television screen. This storm did damage in Maud, it did damage in Seminole, and it's still spinning. And remember, this is a zone where we had our tornado index there at an 8 earlier today. So the tornado threat continues with this as it goes up to the northeast. Right now it's about 7:10. We still have daylight here. Have not seen any power flashes in a while.
Looks like it is up.
From what Chris and Michael have been reporting, Seminole is certainly without power right now, and there's a lot of communication towers without power as well. Let's go back out to Michael. Michael, what do you see?
You're going to see trees from me right now, but we'll come. If you've still got Sky 5 shot, I can just talk over that. Here's what I'm thinking. I think the original tornado was in the process. Probably is still back in there to some degree. There may still be some bit of tornado left. I do see the new circulation that Jonathan was referring to, though, and we are working our way over toward Cromwell. There it is. Look at how massive the wall cloud is. My good.
Yeah, we can see it there, Michael, from your shot. And again, this storm continues to lift up to the northeast and is moving away from Seminole. The storms that we have right now in Oklahoma City are not severe. So I know that we do have some rain coming in right now. But fortunately, that storm, it was at one point tornado warned down towards Lindsay. That is no longer the case. So for everyone that's watching right now in the metro,
now we got debris again.
Right now,
great.
Those are not severe. So that's why we're focusing all our attention on this right now. This is the only tornado warning that we have right now in Oklahoma. We're going to watch for our next round of supercells coming out of the Texas Panhandle here. But as of right now, the tornado threat still continues. With that, and there's your area of rotation, right where that green and that red come together. Certainly, it is still rotating. It is still spinning, moving up to the northeast towards I-40 and the community of Schoolton here. Once again, inflow coming in right over Butner. The new tornado warning, by the way, is going to be this northern polygon that you see. This is the old warning. That will drop off soon. The new one is going to be north and east. So technically, Butner, you are not in this warning, although you're incredibly close. Holdenville, you're okay from this storm. This storm is moving away from you up to the northeast. But Cromwell at 7:27, Schoolton at 7:30 with this storm as it's moving up to the northeast. Eventually what's going to happen here is this storm is going to continue to move into eastern Oklahoma, and then we're going to shift all of our Michael and Sky 5 and Chris Lee out to the west because we are not done yet. This is not the only tornado threat that we have in the forecast for today. We're going to see another round of supercells that will likely impact us in southwestern Oklahoma. Still, though, tornado threat continues north of Seminole, moving up towards Schoolton and I-40. There's Chris, Storm Command, and Sky 5. Let's go back out to Chase Rutledge if we can, because Chase, the storm is still tornado warned. You have had a view into the storm like no one else. Chase, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Yeah, that's right, Damon. We are now, we're kind of to the southwest of the storm now, looking back to the northeast, and you can still see a lot of activity in this storm. That if I get any further out to the east, I'm starting to lose the signal a little bit, so we're taking a look at it from a different vantage point, but still some pretty spectacular shots here from Sky 5. Now, we've kind of been zooming in and out, looking at a lot of those lowerings. Haven't seen any rotation yet. One thing that I'm really interested in, and I don't know if it's going to develop anything, if we come to the left, Francisco, if you kind of...
So 30 to 45 minutes. It's not, but we're still watching it right now.
Oh my God, not again.
Norman going into eastern Cleveland County.
Cromwell is going to get hit.
at least rotation. Not very strong right now near Lexington, south of Slaughterville, and quite a bit of rain as well coming in. So here's how we're handling this right now. We have Chris, Mike, and Sky 5 in Seminole. We have Buck and Shane right now on these storms. We have Derek and Nick Smith out in western Oklahoma watching for supercells coming out of the Texas Panhandle. All of these storms are going to set up over the next few hours, and eventually we're going to see a line of storms that will help bring down the tornado threat later and really going to ramp up the flooding threat, but we're not there yet. So this storm track to the east, Lexington, right over you, from Burnett at 742, Macomb 749, Tecumseh 803, Maud 812, Earlsboro 815. I understand right now in Maud, there are a lot of us right now, same thing in Seminole, that you're not watching television right now because you're in recovery mode right now. But if you know anyone in those communities, give them that heads up and say, look, more storms are coming in your direction, so we're not done yet. Here's your area of rotation between Wayne and Lexington. Oh, man. Here you go. Here's our next hook echo that's now beginning to develop here. This is exactly how the tornado warning that we have ongoing right now, this is how it started. At a very similar location, too, by the way. We were on air at about 5:40 with this cell moving up to the northeast, and it looked a lot like this. Jonathan, unfortunately, it's a real possibility that this storm that you're looking at right now, that Shane is on, could do what the Seminole storm just did as well.
Yep.
Same spot.
Absolutely, Damon. That's what we're concerned about. And so it's starting to become a little bit more organized. Back when it was back to the southwest, I don't know, 20 or 30 miles, it got disorganized. But as it's kind of moved a little bit more to the east, there's probably the warm front. There's probably a boundary right there that it's latched to. So we have that strong low-level wind and shear, which that is really key to that tornado genesis. There's also some winds to the south of the storm, which are pumping in the heat. Okay, they're pumping in the heat. So this storm, even though, you know, the Maud and Seminole storm went through, there's nothing obstructing this storm. So very concerned that this storm's going to start to spin up. Let me show you, here's the developing hook echo. There's another updraft and hook back here. It's actually like two supercells put together. We'll see which one dominates. But you can see the inflow notch coming in here. We're going to have to watch that. But also concerned about, I'm really concerned about still the storm coming into Cromwell.
Looks like it's on the ground.
New warning. I was wondering, when are we going to get the warning for Okfuskee County? That storm again, there's a rotation. Again, we're a little bit concerned the new mesocyclone was going to form. You can literally see it just to the west of Buckner and Chris Lee, and this storm is going to crank up again, produce another tornado.
Will, it absolutely will. Let's go out to Michael right now. Michael, brand new tornado warning as this storm makes its way up towards Okima. Michael, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Damon, in and out of the trees, it looks like at times this tornado is on the ground again, and moving right up toward Cromwell. We're going to actually be in Cromwell, watching it as it comes across. You got Sky 5 on it. Can you see their shot as well?
Okay, Michael. I'm sorry, Michael. Can you say that again? Okay, we'll get Michael back on here in just a moment. So Sky 5 is on damage right now, and you can see some of the damage that they're looking at. This is going to be over Seminole, and this is just a bit of what was a lot of damage. Chris Lee went through there just moments ago. So this storm moving up to the northeast. This thing is still spinning, by the way.
It's on the ground.
Cromwell. So here's what we're dealing with.
It's on the ground right now.
Increasing for far western and southwest.
Okay, hold on. Let me check the radar. Hold on.
Jonathan, let's pull on out. We got to give everybody kind of an idea as to what our next risk is going to be. Not only with this severe storm that's from Pink to Slaughterville, we now have tornado warnings that are coming up to the Oklahoma County
It's definitely on the ground.
Oklahoma state line and far western Oklahoma. We have Nick Smith and Hollis, Derek Klein watching these cells as well. But from Eric to Sayre to Elk City to Hobart to Mangum, Nick is watching these storms.
Oh my God.
And a lot of the data that we had earlier was saying that this right here, the supercell, was likely going to lay a long track tornado down here. So that is what Nick is watching right now. It is still west of Wellington. If you're west of Granite and Mangum, we just want to give you a heads up. Sky 5 is currently back over Seminole. And so we'll get to Nick here in a bit.
Okay.
But you can see some of the damage that Sky 5 is coming up on from this storm right here. This storm produced a large amount of widespread damage with really what was almost a worst-case scenario for Seminole, where you can get a storm that goes right through town. Seminole Monday night, these storms just barely stayed outside of town. Yes, they did damage, but this went right through here. And so damage you can see here, not only to warehouse buildings, but also as you go into downtown. And this is the storm right here. Chris Lee is currently in Butner, by the way. Currently in Butner. You can see his shot here on the left-hand side of your television screen. Again, that coming in from Chris Lee. Let's go out to Chris right now. Chris, storm isn't done being tornado warned yet. Give us an update on what you see.
Yeah, definitely not done. It is. I'm watching a very large lowering here. Let me pull up so you can see the whole thing. I mean, it's massive and it's all rotating. But the area that I've been watching, you can see daylight between the cloud base and the ground. That's a good thing. Have not seen it on the ground or seen any power flashes, but a huge amount of rotation, and then it will start rotating back behind that area also. So there's a lot of rotation. I've not seen anything on the ground in the last minute, but again, it's kind of you kind of see it gets a little tight, wrapped up in rain in there. There might be something in there I just can't see.
Let's see.
And of course,
Where's advertising?
It's difficult to see just everything. We're watching it as we can as it hits towards this area of Cromwell. We're near Butner, which is just a little bit north of Highway 9 on Highway 56, and we'll be following the storm for you as it heads towards the Cromwell area. David?
Okay, and Chris, again, be very safe out there. Not only storm chasing is a very dangerous thing to do, and Chris and our entire chasers, there are a team of people in the vehicle. No one chases alone. I just want you all to know that. So when our chasers are there working the technology, the 360 camera, there is someone driving for them. So we want everyone to know how serious we handle this. This from Sky 5, and you can see here this neighborhood, and it looks like they're already trying to push a lot of debris out of this neighborhood street so that they can go through here and try to at least do damage assessments here. But these homes have certainly taken on quite a bit of damage. You can see insulation, the attics are exposed here, and it certainly makes its way right through this neighborhood here. So this is just a bit of the damage that continues. Chris Lee is going to be near Cromwell right now. Oh, wow. Hey, let's go out to Chase Rutledge. Chase, out to you we go. Damage is pretty widespread, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, Damon. We're just touching it. This is on the east side of town, and this is probably some of the worst damage that we've seen. There's a number of businesses back behind us to the east that took a lot of damage, and the roofs ripped off. But this is some of the worst, and then we're just getting into Seminole. So I'm looking out in front of me, and I'm seeing a lot more damage as we continue to fly over the town. This was a very strong storm, a very damaging storm, and I just hope everyone is okay in the town of Seminole, man.
Yeah, we all are. We're all praying for Seminole, for Maud. Again, for those that were impacted by this storm, Chase is up in the air. I'm still concerned for the community of Cromwell. Again, for community of Cromwell, let me go out to Chris Lee, because Chris Lee, watching the storm coming into Cromwell right now, what do you see in front of you?
Yeah, we still have that very large area of rotation, and I do not see anything in the ground. I haven't seen any power flashes. However, I just heard one of the storm spotters saying that they saw a tornado on the ground to the west of Cromwell. We are somewhat south of that and still looking. You've got to see through the trees, so there could be something in there that we can't see. So we're going to be working a little bit closer to it, but I would certainly say through the Cromwell area, I would act as if there were a tornado on the ground for certain, and I would take my precautions because you may not be able to see it. What this thing does sometimes is the tornado will touch down and then it fairly quickly wraps up in rain, so that if you're not, if you're not right in the path of it, you won't see it, or you won't see it until it's right on you. So you really need to. There's a huge amount of rotation, and whether it's on the ground or not, right this minute, it is coming your way for a problem, David.
And so, Chris, our debris tracker that we have with our radar and the technology here, it is still detecting debris up in the storm. It's that blue that you see just southwest of Cromwell. So for anyone that is trying to get a hold of someone in Seminole right now, or Maud, and you cannot get through right now, a lot of the communication towers have been hit, and so it is extremely difficult right now. And also, there's no power, by the way, in the town. So trying to get a hold of someone through a landline. So text messaging can still work.
Tornado.
Be a little bit slower, but lessons that we learned from previous tornadoes that have gone through towns and have knocked power out is that.
Oh my God, we got a large tornado on the ground right now. Holy crap.
Sky 5 right now showing the damage right now over Seminole with this storm, and that's, I mean, you can see here, homes.
Well, very tight rotation.
And more homes, businesses. I mean, this is so bad for Seminole here. So, and again, everywhere we look,
debris ball.
Like, you know, this is not a tornado that's difficult to find damage. It's unfortunate.
This is right now.
Very easy to find here. So
come on.
Trees have been pulled down, and once again out to Cromwell right now. Still watching it closely. So we'll keep Sky 5 up. Let's go back over to the radar because Cromwell, we're watching this for you extremely closely. This tornado is now just about a mile southwest of town, lifting up to the northeast. You cannot have anyone closer.
Radar is down?
He is literally looking right into this storm. So Cromwell, Chris Lee's watching it. Our technology that we have here with our radar still depicting debris that is up in the air right now with this storm moving into Cromwell right now. And so tornado warning remains. Holdenville, you're okay.
Cromwell.
Holdenville, you're doing all right.
Come on.
Storm, but this is now just about 1 mile southwest of Cromwell. Coming into town right now, on the left-hand side of your television screen, we have Storm Command watching this, we have Chris Lee watching this, and we have Sky 5 watching this as well. So on the ground, up in the air as well. Here is your tornado coming right into Cromwell. And Cromwell, you need to be in your tornado shelter. What Chris Lee or what Chase is showing us right now. Let's go back out to Chase if we can real quick. Chase, you're in town. Give me what are you seeing right now, Chase?
What? I'm seeing devastation, Damon. There's damage all over the town of Seminole. And if we
oh my God!
Just come to the left, follow the street to the left. I want to show you that there's a lot of roofs that have just been ripped off. There's one right there, and if we go up and to the right, okay, bottom right.
Yeah, this is definitely EF2.
Zoom in right there. See that roof on the middle of the
yeah, it's high-end EF2 damage.
If we follow, I believe.
We drove past that already.
To the right, there's a lot of damage there. So follow that. Go straight up. And you know, a lot of vehicles are trying to make a lot of emergency vehicles here. But
definitely not an EF3. I would say EF1, EF2 tornado.
This was a massive storm.
EF1, EF2 damage.
It's going to take a long time for the people in Seminole. They thought they were going to be done on Monday, and then this one came through. You know, our hearts go out to all the people of Seminole. We hope everyone is okay and there are no injuries. But I know as the hours go on, we're going to get more and more reports, and we're just going to continue to fly around the town. I'm just looking out in front of me, and I'm seeing a lot more damage. So this was a massive storm, and we had it all right here live. And Damon, thanks to you. I appreciate everything you're doing, and I'm sure the people here do too.
Well, you know, Jason, this is a team effort. You know, obviously what we do here, we do this so that everyone knows what is coming in their direction. And again, this is a KOCO 5 statewide effort here to make sure that everyone is prepared. But when storms like this come in, and here in Oklahoma we're always prepared before the storm and even after the storm here. But obviously you can see widespread significant damage right now in the town of Seminole. And the threat is not over. And so, and it's not over for Maud or Seminole right now because there's yet another storm that's coming in as well. So Cromwell, let me check in real quick before we go to the storm that's going to be in Potawatomi and Cleveland County, that severe one. I want to go back out to Chris Lee because, Chris, this storm is coming right into Cromwell right now. What do you see in front of you, Chris?
Yeah, we are about 2.5 miles south of Cromwell, Highway 56, looking due north, and you can kind of see a lot of left to right motion with those clouds. That's the backside of the circulation coming across the road right now. I've not seen any power flashes. I've not seen anything on the ground, but it's been wrapped in rain from time to time. So to say that there's not anything in there that's on the ground, I don't know. Certainly a lot of rotation with this storm, an incredible amount of rotation, and it has had all the way since the last 30, 45 minutes we've been watching it. So we're going to let it cross the road and more or less kind of fall in behind us as it goes across Cromwell. We'll let you know if there's any damage we see up there. But not seeing any power flashes. There could be because there's no power, but I take that as a good sign right now. But hopefully if you're in Cromwell or if you're north to northeast of Cromwell, be in your storm shelter, take cover where you can, and let this thing go past.
Well, you know, Chris, from a technology standpoint right now, our radar is depicting debris over Cromwell right now, which means that this tornado is likely ongoing. Chris, you're doing the perfect thing, though. Again, you have to stay safe with these storms, and so, but there's likely a storm coming in right now, and there's a tornado ongoing in Cromwell. Let's go to Michael right now. Michael, give us an update.
Damon, you're looking at Cromwell. This is Cromwell. I can tell you right now, the buildings are okay. The power lines are still up. You can see that right there. The circulation is passing just to the east of town. Now, I'm north of Chris, so inside the hook, I'm north of it, and so it passed literally in between us. And so if he comes north, he may run into a damage path. But as of right now, where I'm at here on the north side of Cromwell, we are okay at the moment. We are literally just on the north side of town. So let me give you an intersection. We're at State Highway 99A and State Highway 16, and we're just to the north of there. So we're on the north side of town. I don't have any like debris falling on me or anything like that. Normally you would get that if you had a tornado.
Well, and Michael, that reporting right there is so important and helping us to get a sterilized idea as it continues to move up to the northeast. So, Michael, glad to see that you all are all right here. But the storm is getting ready to move out of the KOCO5 viewing area here, as it's now lifting up towards Okemah. So for those of you that live in towards eastern parts of Seminole County, again, this storm is now moving up towards Okemah. But there's now a storm that is just west of here. Severe thunderstorm is what it is right now. It's a severe thunderstorm warning, but we're seeing this thing rotate. Now, it's not very tight. It's rather broad, and we're hoping that it can stay that way. But just looking at what the atmosphere did with this storm, it's certainly very well possible that it could do it with this as well. And here's Buck and Slaughterville. There's Shane and Lexington. And so these are just, these supercells right here continue to pose a right. Here's your rotation, by the way, near Etowah. So not a tornado warning, but even when the supercell to the east went across southern Cleveland County and the Potawatomi County, it looked a lot like this as well. So still watching at least the inflow coming in towards Etowah and Tribby. And this is not good. Let's go back out to Michael. Michael, I hear you here. Michael, what do you have?
Yeah, Damon, there's still, if you remember, back near Maud, there was rotation in multiple areas of the storm. I want people in Cromwell to hear me clearly. Stay in your tornado shelter. Do not come out right now. There's still some rotation that's coming in toward town. We didn't have any damage with the initial circulation that moved across, but there's still some very broad circulation moving right over the top of Cromwell right now. And so please go ahead and stay in your shelter right now. As we tell you, you can come out. Do not come out of your shelter right now.
Hello. Well, doesn't work.
Yes, it does. That's going to be in southwest Cleveland, Potawatomi County. So we're now watching for our next tornado warning that's going to be in the very same area that this storm went. So that storm's now moving out to the northeast here. So, and remember the circulation is out of Seminole County. Jonathan, we start going back out to the west here. And so, and just so all of our chasers know, so again, we have all of these supercells covered. Again, we have Nick who's watching this. The storm next tornado one in Wellington, Texas. We'll be coming into southwest of Oklahoma. We'll be talking to Nick here soon for you down to the southwest. That is north of the warm part here. So this is going to be leading towards bottom. There's some gusty weather here right now. Jonathan's kind of looking closely. But our rotation tracker is not very strong. With that, we'll watch it. This is, however, well north of the warm front here. So, what does that mean for you?
Yes, Cromwell. Oh, right. There is a debris right there.
H540. Они сказали, у вас нету H540.
what's causing it.
Is it in the stomach?
Duodenum, right after the stomach.
Use ulcerative colitis.
H1 lowering, people have huge stress, people have taking more drink. My brother, he takes no drink. He takes no drink how many times a week? Sasha, oh, Mama, 3 times a week, 4 times. Okay. If you take for a month 2 times a week, it's automatically you're starting to develop. You are not letting your
Switching the medication.
ulcer to heal.
Ja, wie doet jullie?
Because you can't touch it.
Jesus Christ, this thing is on the ground.
This is your lifestyle?
Let's go check the other storm that we have Buck and Shane on right now.
Jesus Christ.
And because this is still showing signs of rotation right now. It's not warm, but the tornado tag has been added to this from Etowah towards Pink, Tribby, Macomb. You can see here, here's your inflow notch beginning to set up east of Lexington. As a matter of fact, we'll have to get in touch with Shane and Buck here very soon because this is moving up to the northeast here. But that right there would be your next area to watch for a developing tornado east of Lexington and Purcell. And this is moving to the east. Let's go out to Shane right now. Shane, not a tornado warning yet, but our storm that went through here earlier looks exactly like this. Shane, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Yeah, Damon, there's a warm cloud. We can see it. There's a little bit of lowering here. We're heading that way. We've got to go through town here first. We are actually in, where am I at? I am in Purcell, and we are heading that way right now. But I'll tell you what, looking up there, we can see that there are several lowerings actually. But the one that it has us concerned is over here. I don't know if you can see it in the screen or not, because of everything, but the trees and the buildings and everything. But we are heading that way as quickly as we possibly can. So as soon as we get up there, we'll get a better view on it, and we'll give you a lot more information. Damon, back to you.
All right, you, Buck, and Charlie, be safe out there with this storm moving up to the northeast. So I want to show you what it looks like from a velocity coupler here, because that really tells the story of what we're seeing first up in the storm itself. And it is rotating. And now, not as strong as what we had over Seminole, but still, the storm is showing some degree of rotation right now south of Etowah, south of Burnett, and southwest of Tribby, moving up to the northeast. So it's still a severe thunderstorm warning right now, but the rotation is beginning to at least show some signs of increasing. We're going to continue to watch it scan by scan. You can see our rotation tracker.
There's hail in Etowah.
Near Etowah and southwest of Macomb. Jonathan, here we go again. Just a line of supercells, and this is, I hate to say it, Jonathan, but you and I knew this, and our entire team, we were talking about this. This could be a long night. We're not even near the end of this storm threat.
Damon, we are not. So watching this form, this potentially could be our next tornado warning. I think what's happening with these two storms, it's basically two supercells, you can zoom out here, that are fighting over the same air. And let me highlight where this is at. There's one storm up front right here, and here's the hook, and there was another storm on the backside back here. So the two supercells kind of hooked together. They may merge and form into one. A little bit concerned that the southern storm might dominate, so it's going to be from Etowah, Trousdale, Tribby. Okay, so that would be the next area. I think this storm right here is what we're really going to have to watch. That's our next concern. Then what's going to happen? Storms out of Texas, west of Hollis, they're coming in, but what I'm concerned about is that we'll just see the warm front absolutely unzip, and that means we're going to see new storms forming. I was just looking at some new high-resolution model data, and we're going to transition after this supercell in parts of Cleveland and Pottawatomie County. We're watching that. I'm concerned west of I-35 that we're going to see a line of storms, and we're going to see our second wave. This is what I was talking about earlier this morning, KOCO 5 News in the morning, that we had two waves. This is wave number 1, which produced those tornadoes, and then wave number 2 is going to hit western Oklahoma, and whether there's supercells or a line, we'll have a tornado risk for a good portion, I would say, at least between now and at least midnight
Mom, I applied for night shift, New York City Housing Authority, but I miss you.
Yes.
Last night.
May 7, I would it in May 10.
You ask?
Section 8.
I see.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask.
The last time was 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
I know. It's going to be the first time, and it's going to be only from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's it.
Where can I live with Section 8? Anywhere or?
Anywhere.
Any apartment?
Yes.
That's dumping a lot of rain. It could be anywhere near I-44. So from Lawton to Moore to Norman to Shawnee and up to north.
Я сейчас делаю видео.
Okay, I'm leaving.
So we're going to transition with all sorts of hazards tonight. The flood threat will come in here, but still watching this storm real closely as it continues to move up to the northeast. On the left-hand side of your television screen here, you can still see again damaged crews, and they're still in the early stages of search and rescue there in Seminole right now. But our next area is not that far away, and you hate to see this because these storms are likely going to put a pause on the search and rescue and the damage assessment that is happening right now in Seminole, because you're about to see yet another storm that's going to roll right over. So, I mean, it's just double trouble here for Maud to Seminole, even as you make your way up towards Cromwell with yet another supercell that is about to roll right over. It's severe warned right now, but we already know what can happen here. So, Jonathan is highlighting areas of rotation from Etowah, east of Etowah and south of Etowah. So, Tribby at 9:48, Romulus at 8:03, Earlsboro 8:22, Seminole State College at 8:31, and then 2 minutes later, back in the town of Seminole with this storm. That's a bad storm here. It absolutely is moving up to the northeast. Other storms that we are watching, there's a lot more that's beginning to kind of unfold across the state right now. It started out with one storm. Now we're watching more storms coming in here, and tornado warning that's likely going to be eventually coming into southwestern Oklahoma. So,
Okima Castle
warning has now moved out of the town of Seminole,
yep.
Although it's, still packing a punch headed up towards Okima. But we can tell right now that the tornado warning is no longer in effect for Seminole, although when you see a velocity couplet like that, wow. If you know anyone in Okima, this storm is really ramping up going into Okima. So if you know anyone there, give them a heads up. I'm sure that they know what's coming in their direction because we have been on this storm since it developed. But Okima,
it's on the ground.
7:53.
Oh, yeah.
And this continues to go into eastern Oklahoma. Debris right there, by the way. That blue that you see, when you see that blue, that is debris that is in this storm. And that's coming right into Okima right now. So Chris Lee is right there south of Schoolton. As a matter of fact, let me check in with Chris Lee if I can right now. Chris, still a real dangerous storm just east of you. Chris, I know you're repositioning going west, but Chris, how are things where you are? Have you come across any more damage north of Cromwell?
Yeah, we did come into the town of Cromwell and went made kind of a loop through town. People just coming out of their storm shelters as we came through, and did not see any damage, structural damage. There was some tree damage, tree damage sporadically throughout all of this. So there's a lot of very strong winds associated with that circulation. So I think that hit the town of Cromwell. Did not see any damage coming up 56 structurally. So fortunately, I think Cromwell is okay, and that continues off to the north and east on into towards the town of Okima.
And again, we appreciate you, Chris, again, out there chasing, but we are still at the very early stages of our threat for severe weather tonight because this tornado threat is now moving to eastern Oklahoma. Our next tornado threat, again, is not really that far off because
we got tornado on the ground.
And watching our tornado warning that's going to be coming out of the Texas Panhandle that we have Nick Smith on right now. So, and when we were looking at a lot of the data that we had earlier today, certainly southwestern Oklahoma was another spot that we were very concerned about. This tornado or this severe thunderstorm warning that we have right now.
Yep.
You can see the rotation here. I mean, it is.
There we go.
Not very tight, but it is rotating. But even if it's not tornado warning, this is still a bad storm for those that were just directly impacted by the tornado, as roofs are gone and a lot of damage there, and a lot of search and rescue operations going on right now, and even cleanup has already already started, and what they don't need right now is another storm that is going to be moving in right now. So this is not good at all. But putting a track with this up to the northeast, with this storm, home at 7:51, back into Seminole at 8:30. By the way, by then it's getting dark, and we've already seen Seminole is without power. So, Jonathan, let's go all the way out into southwestern Oklahoma, if we can, because I do want to at least get an update for those that are watching down to the southwest. The storm is it's out near Wellington, Texas, by the way, and it is tornado warning. Now the warning is let's see here. It's coming up. It's coming up to Oklahoma. There it is, right there. You can see definitely. Oh wow, Wellington, Texas, and there's Nick right now, just southwest of Vincent. But that right there is certainly a very tight couplet. This moving to the east, and this very well could ride right along the warm front here, which means that the tornado threat, I would not be surprised if this is going to leave a long track tornado. Let's go out to what do you see, Condon?
Oh, I have a TVS on that storm near Etowah.
Oh, back out to Etowah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're jumping all over the state here right now, so rightfully so. Let's go back out to Etowah.
Oh, now they're going back.
What Jonathan means, by the way, when he says a TVS, it's a tornado vortex signature.
No, debris. TDS means tornado debris signature.
And there it is, right there.
No, TVS, you mean?
Of Macomb. So we have Sky 5 right now, just southeast of here. We have Storm Command and we have Chris Lee, and we're watching this right now. So Macomb at 7:53. Seminole at 8:31, and we're hoping this is not tornado warning, but we know what this atmosphere over Potawatomi County has already done, and so we got to keep it. Sky 5 is picking up in the air and is looking right at us. Go up to Chase Rutledge. We can, because Chase watching this storm once again.
Like that lowering we've been covering on the storm that just went through Seminole, and this lowering is pretty low to the ground, way down there at 500 feet or even lower. So as we get closer to this, we're going to keep an eye on that. We also have to think about getting some fuel, so we're probably going to do that and then try to get back on this one, Baker.
Okay. Fortunately, we have your eyes up in the sky on this one, and so similar. I mean, if something's going to happen with this storm and produce a tornado, we're going to know it immediately. It is showing signs of tightening up, however, as you go just west of Macomb, southwest of Tecumseh, headed up to the northeast here towards Earlsboro right now. So right now, again, it's not tornado warning, but we're keeping a mindful eye on this right now with this storm. So let me see here. Okay, there's a lot. We have a lot of information that's passed on to us, and so just got to check it over my shoulder. But in the meantime, right now, Burnett down west of Macomb. Area of rotation, developing tornado, that is where it would be. It's not tornado warning, it's a severe thunderstorm warning, as you can see here by the yellow flashing box. But it is moving back up into an area that produced a significant tornado just moments ago. There's Sky 5. I mean, really, when it comes to what you're going to see up in the air, what Sky 5 is looking at right now, you cannot have a better viewpoint of what this storm is doing right now. And so Chase Rutledge is going to certainly inform us should anything begin to lower. But as we saw earlier, this storm certainly has at least that look, much like the other storm had here. Jonathan, watching this, you were mentioning earlier about the TVS signature, that tornado vortex signature.
TVS.
How's it look now from where you are?
Well, what I don't like about it, it's kind of wrapped up in the rain. So Sky 5's out in front of it, and you can see his camera shot on the lower left-hand side, and it is a low-hanging, gungy storm, and we're just kind of working him around here, and you can see the front edge there, and it's big, lowering, big kind of shelf/wall cloud. I think on the leading edge is kind of looking like a shelf cloud, but tucked underneath, there's probably a wall cloud tucked up in there. And the velocity, it's starting to get a little bit more organized. Like I said, I think we had two storms that were fighting and merging. So I'm going to back the radar up here so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. Again, there's clearly one storm back here, one storm back here, inflow here, inflow here. Two storms fighting over the moisture, right? And I still think they're fighting, but when one dominates, right, then it's going to become a classic supercell storm. And I think what we're seeing right now is the leading storm here is its forward flank. All this rain is crushing the storm on the left. And very sadly,
Brooksville,
Yeah, we got tornado on the ground right now.
This thing is probably about to really tighten up even more so in the next radar scan. You can see the red getting kind of pulled back in here. So Jonathan is highlighting exactly where the storm is showing signs of certainly strengthening, but we're not done yet with this risk. And of course, right now it's not yet 8 o'clock, so we still have a good amount of, a bit of daylight. Not a good amount of daylight, but we still have daylight to have eyes on this. And that's what we have here in the bottom left-hand side of your television screen with Chase Rutledge, Chris Lee, Michael watching this on the ground. What do you see? Okay, we'll get back to you, Jonathan, in a second. And then you see on the top there, north of Hollis. Why are we looking north of Hollis? Nick Smith is down there watching a supercell that is rolling out of Texas as well. So bottom line, there is a lot going on, but this storm still continues to spin, moving to the east. So there's Shane, southwest of Etowah right now. We'll touch base with him there in a moment, but it's all the air we're looking at this. Not seeing anything yet.
Мама, я уехала, I'm sorry, у меня в пятницу как, но ты никогда меня не жалела. Ты меня всегда любила.
Or an imminent tornado where you feel like you may not be that far away from this. It's not tornado warning, and we're looking right at it. As a matter of fact, Sky 5, let's go back out to Chase Rutledge if we can, because Chase, the second a tornado warning is issued, or the second a tornado occurs, you will know right here on KOCO 5. But Chase, you're watching this closely. Anything stand out to you right now with this supercell?
Well, David, we kind of look off to the west now, so this is looking towards the Slaughterville, Noble area, and this is another area of lowering here. Now, I don't know if you're seeing anything on radar, but this is really interesting. Not seeing a lot of rotation in it yet, but we're kind of making our way towards
That's a scud bomb.
This is definitely another lowering way down to the ground.
A scud bomb is basically a lowering caused by heavy rain. Yeah, it's not rotating.
Moving off to the northeast again. I really hope that it does not hit Seminole again. They don't need another punch. But I know you guys are going to be watching it, and I know everybody can trust your forecast for this, but we're going to keep a close eye on this as we make our way back to the city.
Okay, Chase, be safe up there in the sky. Again, watching this right now for a tightening couplet. It's not tornado warning yet, but it's continuing to strengthen. So Brooksville at 8 o'clock, Earlsboro 8:21. We do have a new tornado warning that will be issued very soon for that supercell that's coming now east of Wellington, Texas, coming into Harmon County in southwestern Oklahoma. So we've had Derek and Nick Smith down in southwestern Oklahoma throughout the afternoon. They've been waiting for that storm to come in, so we'll talk to them in just a bit. But you can see here at least the inflow into the storm continues to get more pronounced. Let's go back out to Chase. That's on the ground. Chase, go.
Yeah, Damon, I don't know if we zoomed into this. Don't know if it was rotation, but I'm seeing a lot of moisture coming up from the ground into this storm. We're going to keep a close eye on this. I don't know if this is a tornado or if this is just that storm drawing a lot of that moisture up. I don't see a lot of rotation on that. What are you seeing, Damon? Do you think the same thing?
Well, Chase, what we saw just for a moment, and it is getting dark, so we're looking for these right here. We see the storm is definitely rotating in the mid layers of the atmosphere, but I think you were right. I believe, Chase, how tight is this cloud in front of you rotating? Is it, or it might be, Scott? What do you see, Chase?
Well, and that's right, Damon. I'm not seeing a whole lot of rotation in it. It looks like it's just being drawn straight up from the ground into the cloud. So I don't think there's any concern for a tornado right here. But that's not to say that this won't produce one later on, Damon.
Okay. Well, we're gonna keep your shot up here. And you're looking right at it. And again, up in the air, sometimes you can have these clouds that are just a couple feet off the ground. But and scud clouds, by the way, they kind of look a lot like tornadoes from the ground, but they don't rotate. So when you're chasing out in this type of environment, knowing what the storm has already done in this area in Pottawatomie County has already produced, you certainly see a lowering like that, and it certainly does kind of raise some concern. But this is rotating. It is picking up right now from Macomb to Brooksville, south of Tecumseh. That right there would be, and that's concerning right now. Again, it's a severe thunderstorm warning right now, but it's continuing to get more organized as it's moving up to the northeast. So we're watching this. Chase, we're going to keep his shot up, but I know there are some of us in southwestern Oklahoma right now, down by Hollis, that their phone just went off with a tornado warning. So let's go all the way down to the southwest, down to Hollis, where this tornadic supercell just is now rolling out of Texas. Good afternoon, Nick. Nick, I know you've been down in southwestern Oklahoma. You've been waiting for this storm. Here it is right now, Nick. Well-pronounced inflow and hook echo with this just west of you, Nick. What do you see?
Yeah, Damon, we have been sitting out here. We're just a few miles to the west of Vinton right now, and we're just watching this thing as it comes across the border. There has been quite a bit of rain associated with this, a lot of wind, a lot of inflow to this thing, Damon. It's like when it was still a good probably 10 miles into the Texas, or maybe more than that, probably 15 minutes ago at least, I'd say it was pulling a ton of inflow in. We were getting rocked around just by driving just almost in front of it. So we're in front of it. We're in a great position now where we'll be able to see it as it comes into Oklahoma, and we will let you know once we see it. There's still a little bit of it ate up some showers as it was subformed just to the south of it. It ate those, but it's got a ton of moisture to play with, Damon, and this thing is, it's really tightening up back here. Back to you.
Yeah, and what really concerns me about this storm there, Nick, and by the way, you and Daryl be safe out here, is that a lot of the data that we had this afternoon was showing that this was going to really lay down quite a long track rotation couplet across southwestern Oklahoma. So Nick is keeping a close eye on this south of Vinson near McKnight. Nick, we'll come back out to you in just a moment. Again, keeping a close eye on this in southwestern Oklahoma and even as far east as Mangum. Let's go back up into Potawatomi County, where this storm that is what Chase and Shane and Buck and Michael and Chris and Sky 5 are on right now. This is it right here. It's still a severe thunderstorm warning right now, but it is tightening up here. And this is exactly what happened with our last storm right over Brooksville. So Brooksville, watching this one real close. And again, Sky 5 is up in the air right now looking into this. And so we've been watching it up in the air. Sky 5 has been as well near Slaughterville, looking right into this. And right now, again, it's not tornado warned, but if you're in Earlsboro, south of Prague, I'd be ready for this to become tornado warned. I feel like we're kind of building our way back up there once again. So Brooksville at 8:02, Earlsboro 8:22, Seminole at
Remember that cell he was mentioning?
And then Nobletown about 8:49.
At 18Z?
We still have a little bit of daylight left. A little bit of daylight left before we go into a completely different type of chase environment here where it's late at night. But just when you see what this storm looks like right now on the radar,
Updraft Felicity swaths.
a similar storm did earlier. This is not good. This is not good news at all for those of us that have been directly impacted by a storm about an hour and a half ago. That
Seminole.
A bit of damage, and we've been showing you that damage live on Sky 5 here. So from Sky 5 here, and as well Chris Lee when he was making his way through town. So not liking this at all. Let me go back out to Michael Armstrong, by the way. He's going to be to the east here just a little bit, but I do want to talk to Michael because Michael, this area has just experienced so much severe weather just this week alone. Michael, give us an update on what you're seeing.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, Damon. This one, unfortunately, if it turns right, it could come.
Wow.
If it stays on the same track that it's going.
Oh my God.
It's going to pass on the south side of the country.
I think it's on the ground.
You know, I know our GPS may be having a little bit of trouble right now. We are 1 mile northwest of Seminole right now. We're coming in toward Earlsboro, and we're going to be able to track it as it moves back up right here over Highway 9 toward Earlsboro. So we will have eyes on it as it does. I know it's getting dark. We'll be watching for flashes.
Hail.
And it's going to get more.
That's hail. See that CC drop? That's all hail.
Hail. So it's going to be very challenging, but we're going to be watching it super close. We'll track it for everybody here as it comes in toward Earlsboro. If you're in Earlsboro, listen, I would just go ahead and precautions. We've seen a lot today. Don't mess with these storms, guys. Just if you're out ahead of them and work your town name, just go ahead and be safe and take your precautions. That's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, great advice there. Coming in from Michael. And look, we've chased a lot of storms. We've reported on a lot of storms, but today was certainly one of the higher end days, and the risk still continues. We still have a moderate risk for severe weather. That coming in from the outlook that just came out just minutes ago from the Storm Prediction Center, saying, look, the threat is still moderate, and a moderate risk is definitely one that you don't want to mess around with. So we're still watching this storm real closely. Oh my gosh!
Wow,
this is really tightening up. As a matter of fact, Chris Lee is just a few miles away from this. There's Chris, there's Shane, there's Buck right now, but this continues to just get even tighter. Right over Brooksville. Really, I mean, right over Brooksville. I do want to talk to Chris Lee here in just a moment, because a storm track with this up to the northeast will take it into Earlsboro at 8:25, Seminole at 8:38. Let's go out to Chris. Chris, what we're seeing on radar right now is a tightening velocity couplet. Give us an update on what you're seeing from where you are.
Yeah, well, we're seeing where we are is a lot of rain right there on I-40, kind of repositioning between storms. But let me tell you, that's the same area. It's incredibly close to the same area we watched as the tornado was forming and then hit Seminole. So very concerned about the way that's tightening up and the direction that it's going. It still has a little bit more of a northward movement to it, but as that rotation tightens up, not being all surprised to see it take a little bit of a right turn, which put it right over the Seminole area. Of course, it's not going to miss the Seminole area with rain and precipitation and certainly very, very strong winds. So it's going right over the same area. So hopefully people have enough electricity and devices so they can be warned, because that is the area where there's a lot of power outages.
So, Chris, just so you know, tornado warning was just issued. What we were saying earlier that we have been watching closely. So, a tornado warning now in effect for this storm right over Brooksville. So, here we go. Brooksville in your shelter. Earlsboro in your shelter. There's a rotation northeast of Macomb, right over Brooksville. This is your tornado warning, and that is a tightening radar couplet north of Macomb, lifting up to the northeast towards Tecumseh. Again, turning a bit more to the east as well. Hate to see that. Hate to see this tornado warning already, but here we are right now. Tornado warning now in place for Brooksville, and will likely bring it back in line with Seminole. Maud, this will likely stay just north of you, but if it keeps strengthening and moving to the east, Seminole, this is coming right at you once again. So Brooksville, right overhead in your shelter as we speak. Earlsboro, you're in your shelter as well, going into your shelter. Maud, this should stay just north of you. Seminole is too close to call right now, but this current track will be bringing it very close. Technically, Seminole, you are not in this polygon. You're not in this tornado warning, but very similar to what we had earlier. It is moving in a similar path. So here we are now. Our second tornado warning of the afternoon, or second tornadic storm, I should be saying, in this very place. Here we are once again south of Tecumseh. Pink, you're okay. Shawnee, this is real close to you, but this could be just south of you. Watching this, and that's where your circulation is. This is going to be just north of Macomb, northeast of Macomb, right over the community of Brooksville. Jonathan highlighting right over the town of Brooksville. That is where the tornado is going to be located, just south of Tecumseh. Tecumseh, this is real close to you, moving to the east, up to the northeast, headed towards Earlsboro. But when you see this red and this green, or this pink or green and purple, I should be saying, that is a tight couplet right over Brooksville with this cell moving up to the northeast. So the latest language with this is a tornado warning moving, let's see here, to the northeast at 20 miles per hour. 20 miles per hour with this. That is a slow-moving storm. Usually the slower they are out here, that's usually a sign that they're strengthening quite a bit here. So I would not be surprised if we begin to watch this kind of take more of an easterly track, and you just hate to see it. But Seminole, you're back in the path of this storm. We're hoping that this thing just kind of fizzles out here as fast as it can, but I'm afraid to say I don't know if that's going to be possible here. So Earlsboro, 8:35. Seminole, 8:49, 8:54 for the town of Seminole. I know there's a lot of recovery. There's a lot of search and rescue. There's just a lot of cleanup already happening with these storms, but this is going to put a temporary hold on that with this storm now coming into town. So we're still watching this closely.
Oh no, it's on the ground.
We have Shane on this as well, southwest, and then we have Michael on this as well. So we go back out to Michael if I can. Michael, give me an update. Where are you and what are you seeing?
We have a TDS.
Okay, David, we are just to the east of Earlsboro, about 3 miles. We're just coming up on the intersection of the north-south road 351 and Highway 9. So just about 3 miles east of Earlsboro on Highway 9. And we're basically moving right into the Bears cage with the storm where the circulation's going to be focused. So it's coming at us. Into a position to where if it tracks into Earlsboro, we'll be able to watch it. It looks like, based on its current movement, where the tightest part of the circulation is, it is going to pass very close, just on the south side of Tecumseh, east 124, and hang on just a second, Highway 177 and east 124 is where it's at right now. And I think it's going to pass
debris northeast of Brooksville. We got
right along 343, and the other road is going to be Tucker Road. That's where it's headed. And so on this track, it's going to pass basically in between Tecumseh and Earlsboro. It is really wrapped in rain. I would encourage people who are ahead of this storm, don't try to go out and look at it. You're not going to see it until it's right on top of you.
Yeah, a bit of a difference right here. Again, rain wrapped, unlike what we had earlier where that supercell that produced a tornado in Seminole was not rain wrapped. This one is. And not only that, but you can also see there's some extremely powerful winds that are going to roll in with this as well. So we can clearly see that. But this tornado warning for Potawatomi County until 8:45.
We got debris. We have debris. There is debris.
Which technically not in the warning officially, but it's close. That's looking down through at 8:50. So this storm definitely it is spinning, and it is certainly circulating, wrapped in rain, as Michael just mentioned. Here's your inflow coming into the cell. There's Shane, southwest of Brooksville, watching this south of Tecumseh. And right now, at least, certainly the tornado threat is absolutely warranted. There's also a lot of powerful wind coming out of the storm as well that's moving to the east here, heading towards Neal, Earlsboro, and as you make your way west of Seminole, this threat still certainly very significant for those of us in the path. Shane, we see you coming up on the storm. Tornado warning. What are you seeing in front of you, Shane?
And we're just right here on the west side of Malcolm. Now, we have seen several what looks to be like funnels, and I'll tell you what, it's been really hard, of course, so you can imagine because of all the trees and hills, of course, we're east of I-35. But, yeah, this thing is a mean-looking storm, although all of the rotation areas that we are watching seem to be pretty big. I mean, it's not real tight. I know that there's some areas that look on radar that look really nasty, but we are definitely not seeing a lot of really tight stuff that's real, that's going to make anything real quickly. We are keeping a really close eye on it. In fact, we're going through the town of Malcolm right now, and, well, if we see something, even if we see a funnel, it has some lookalikes, but if we do see a funnel, we're gonna let you know about it. We are, by the way, almost directly underneath the wall cloud, so just let everybody know we're right underneath it. David, back to you.
Okay, so Shane, just so you know, we are getting a tornado debris signature on radar with this storm just east of Brooksville. So be careful as you're coming up on this again.
Oh, now they mention it, and it's live. This is live.
Tornado debris signature, we're picking it up.
It says 8:12 on their time.
It is near 342 is going to be the county road that it's coming up on. That's the north-south road. Oh, no. This is just northwest also of 125. That's going to be east-west 125. A strong indication of a tornado that has just passed over Highway 177 on the south side of town. Here's the other problem, guys. This is turning right towards Seminole. That's worst case. We do not need another tornado in Seminole. Please, man, I'm hoping that this circulation can go at the very least a little north.
It is going to go north of Seminole.
That would be terrible. But this storm, just since I updated you just a few minutes ago, it spun up a new circulation on the southeast side of the main one, and now it's turned right when it did that.
And what all that means to you at home is that this is a bad storm for Earlsboro, and so this is a dangerous storm east of Brooksville towards Earlsboro, south of Tecumseh. A rotation tracker, Jonathan, if you can put that storm impact back there again. So you see how hot that color was. That right there. When you see our rotation tracker doing that, that is a bad storm. And again, when you see our rotation tracker doing that, those that were just that is a bad. We're going to move in Earlsboro at 8:38. Right now.